Jumanji as your artist name?
Really, it was just a name that stood out to everybody. Like, so Jumanji is the Zulu word for many effects. Really, that's what it means. So it's just like basically me and everything that I do has many effects on people in the world itself for real. So that's how I really came up with it. Like, it wasn't always my name at first. Like, my real name is Julian, but everybody called me Ju or Juju. So then it came to Jumanji, then it just stuck.
How long does it normally take you to finish a piece?
I want to say about 3 hours if I'm working on a big piece, but at the most an hour or two.
So I seen on your IG you had up there in your bio you do tattooing as well. How did you segue into that?
So I have an older brother. He does tattoos, and he seen like me growing up that I was always good at like drawing and painting and stuff, but I ain't never get into the tattoo field like him, but I always wanted to learn how to do it. And I didn't actually take it serious until about 2018, but I did my first tat, I want to say about 2014. It was kind of embarrassing, but I was actually like locked up at the time, and I was like, I did my first tat on my leg, so I'm sitting there like this, trying to do it upside down, and this word's going down my leg. It took me about like 5 hours, and everybody there just watching me.
Out of the first pieces you ever created, which one is your favorite?
Right now, I want to say my favorite is the Nipsey and Tupac one that I just recently did. That gotta be my favorite because they both was like almost like my idol. Everything I do for real, everything they talked about, everything they been through, I really been through.
So, with the art that you do, is that like something you went to school for, or you just took interest in it and you learned?
And this was like, that's what I was born to do. I was born with a pencil, a paintbrush in my hand.
How do you keep yourself motivated?
Really, I just keep going because it's like, I don't got nothing else. This is me. And the art is who I am. So it's like, without this, I wouldn't be anything or anybody. Like, just living a regular life, waking up every day, 9 to 5, doing the same thing over and over. Like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. I still got one, but it's like, I needed that extra oomph to keep me pushing. Like, my grandmother gone, my brother gone. Those are my two best friends. So it's like them, like part of them still with me, and they keep me pushing as well.
So we all got that one song that just like stop us from doing everything. We just gotta sing it. What's your one song?
I ain't gonna lie, it's not even one song. It's about a couple.
Alright, name
Well, I'm an old head at heart, so it's like I listen to a lot of throwbacks from like, from Bow Wow to Jagged Edge to all the classic stuff for real.
So your artist name, is it like, would you consider it like a word that just describes you, or is it like an ego? Like that's your other person for real?
Nah, that just describes me, really. Like, anybody that know me personally like would tell you that like I'm different than what you look at me and think that I would be. I'm real quiet, but once I get comfortable around you, they see how open I am, what kind of mindset I got, the way I carry myself, all that.
How important are the details in a painting?
I want to say details is always important. It's always the top. But as far as for me, it's not always about the detail. It's how much effort you put into it to really make it look like what you wanted to look like.
So do the first thing you do or the last thing that you do as far as your process?
It'd be the last thing I do. Because I will only add certain details, not everything.
If you could have one artist paint a portrait of you, who would it be?
I ain't gonna lie, it'd be Leonardo da Vinci. Because he was that guy, I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. So when you do that, what sparked the interest in that?
I was sick. A lot of people may know him. His Instagram name is Stack Money Quincy. So Quincy, like, man, right now everybody see his jeans, buying his jeans. He got all the celebrities, all the famous people in his jeans. Like, I was sitting at his house one day, and I was just watching him make something. Oh, it was wintertime. I was watching him make these jackets. I'm like, man, I said, yo, that looks so simple. Like, I could really do that. So he gave me a couple pieces to put together. Sat down, started doing it. I'm like, yeah, I could get used to this. So he taught me how to make my first jacket. After that, it was a wrap. I started going my own way, selling my jackets for my brand and stuff. He still helped me out till this day about this little thing, till this day, and I appreciate you for everything you did for me. Just introducing me to a new world I never thought I'd see myself doing.
What is one profession you think is boring, but you can make it lit?
I don't even know. Man, that's a lot of any profession?
Any profession? Yeah, any.
I'd say probably being a lawyer. Cause I could definitely go back and forth with a judge, and the judge wouldn't even be serious the whole time.
How has being an artist changed your life?
Man, in a lot of ways, cause it's like you don't expect people to know you. Like being out in public and you getting out there, like you usually see people like hype over somebody that's a rapper or something, doing something like that. No, I had people come up to me like, yo, you the one who be doing them paintings that did the Quavo painting, blah, blah. I ain't never expect anybody to come up to me like over a painting. Like, I ain't never expect anybody to have that type of interest. Even people in our generation now that have that type of interest in any art anyway. Like, it changed my life tremendously. It changed who I was. Changed everything that I did. Just made me look at life differently, really.
What piece that you created that you had the most fun, like, creating?
I'm gonna say the most fun I had is when I be creating shoes. Cause most of the time people just let me do my thing on them. When I'm creating a shoe, I can put anything on it, like anything that just make you person. What you won't even be worried about the person. You too busy looking at their feet, make you take a double take real quick. Like, hold up, like where you get them from? Like, what's them?
So I see you got merch and they got like your artist name on it. What made you do your artist name instead of like an original character?
Well, one, cause I could never find a character that could fit me really. Like, it was nothing that really stood out or anything. It was really just the name really stands out by itself. Cause first thing when people say Jumanji, is the first thing they even think of is a jungle or they think of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like that. The name by itself stood out alone, but I had a vision. It was like a gorilla, since Jumanji is always like the jungle. Gorillas be one of the first top animals that everybody name when they think of the jungle. So I had an image of like a gorilla with, I want to say like a pencil and a paintbrush in his hand, but he holding his mouth open. And it's just something crazy, just something different that wouldn't even like you wouldn't expect to see on a shirt or anywhere really.
What's the wildest interaction you've had with a client?
I want to say when I be doing personal portraits for people, I always tell people just like send me the picture really. But I remember this one girl, she wanted to come. It's like she wanted to be live, like standing next to me,
mm-hmm.
and I paint her, but she wanted to be naked. Like, don't get me wrong, I love females and all that way, but that I just wasn't comfortable with that. Like, I couldn't get jiggy with it. She already made me feel so uncomfortable. Like, I told her like, yo, just go home and send me a picture. Like, I made her come there and then told her to go right back home. I ain't started no nothing. Like, I just couldn't do it. What's up, y'all? It's Jumanji, you feel me? Just wrapped up an interview with Orange Pop. So, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, _JuLove. It's JULOVE. You can get all the portraits, all the tattoos, all the pictures, everything you need. You can get it all in. Holla at me.